2024.
The wait is over in Bahrain, and we are just hearing that the starting grid is on the look for a new driver. Who will it be?
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting shit.
And radio is good.
Here we go.
The Grand Prix is underway.
What a dramatic start. Can you believe it?
I just feel like they're gonna bleed.
Yes!
Spun out of my
Oh, he's lost it.
Tap out, guys. That's it.
The pit lane's going to be alive now. They're all in.
on my own. Here we go. I'm set on an overdrive. On my own. Here we go.
It's not every day that we get to see such incredible wheel-to-wheel racing.
Out of the final corner. And here's our winner today.
Can you beat me?
What a race. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to the fans.
Welcome in, everybody, to round number 11 here at Singapore. This is a classic street circuit, 19 corners, most of them very sharp. We have two DRS zones, not a whole lot of elevation changes, but it is a very technical track under the lights. So we'll see how everyone gets on for that tonight. Let's take a look at our calendar for tonight. As you can see, we are in Singapore. Big note, next week we're going to be racing on Saturday at Qatar due to the American Football League's Super Bowl being on Sunday at the same time as our race. So to give everybody the opportunity to watch that, we're going to do the race on Saturday, which we'll remind you about at the end of the broadcast. But going into tonight's race, we have Zuluxi leading us off to Vanilla Spilla, Oscar right behind there. Then we got our reserve of and last year's champion, Some Good Salt, who I do believe is actually going to be racing with us tonight. So that'll be exciting to watch. Then we got Hayden, followed by Boogie Echo, who I do not believe is going to be making it tonight. So Zuluxi's got all to do by herself. Then we got Mr. Chris, followed by Dynamic. And your last position there in 10th is Dero Racer X in the other Ferrari. Now, those top drivers showing us that for the team standings, Aston Martin out in front with 289 points to Mercedes at 218. With a few rounds left, this could possibly change championship if we have both Mercedes here tonight. We shall see. As I said, Zuluxi holding it down for Aston Martin tonight. Then we got Alpine, who overtook McLaren, and followed by Ferrari, Williams, Red Bull Racing, or Racing Bulls, apologies. Then Red Bull Racing, Haas, and Sauber is your Constructors' Championship. So, I do understand we are currently waiting for a few more people to hop in. Looks like we've got 15 drivers will be in the grid tonight. Now, tonight's race also has a 2-stop minimum for our drivers to follow. Now, that rule goes out the window if we do have a wet race, and the definition of a wet race is when the game disables the DRS. Let's see here. Yep, just waiting for a few more people to ready up, and we'll get to the track for qualifying. Again, this is round 11 at Singapore. And after tonight, there's only 2 rounds left for Season 4 of Prowler Racing League. Already, I know he was. So again, Zaluxi, our championship leader, working by herself tonight to defend against both Mercedes of Vanilla Spill and Dynamic. Our host and admin, Dero Racer X, let everybody know to start up. Hit that ready button. Majority is ready to go. So here we go. We will double check to make sure we got everyone with the telemetry once we get in to the system, to the track. Here we go. Want to welcome in everybody in our YouTube for the league and my personal Twitch. Everyone doing their tire selections for tonight. So far, it doesn't look like anybody is complaining about any wet weather, so we might be in for a treat of a dry race. We'll see. Server being extra slow tonight. All right. And we're off to the track. Maybe. There we go. All right, we're on the track. Everyone getting ready to head out to set their qualifying. We got 18 minutes for everyone to set their fastest lap that they can. Let's check to see if we got anybody not showing. Oh, this might be a win that everyone has their telemetry set correctly. Nice. All right, so let's get rid of the game board. All right, looks like the first car out onto track is going to be the kick of JR. AO doing the smart move, going out at intermediates. He does have a quality ban from back when he was a full-time driver back in Spain. He unfortunately got too many penalty points, which required a quality ban the next time he raced. So you will see him go onto the track. He will set his setup, head out onto track, come back around, and retire in the pits. We have a new driver tonight. Truth is going to be also having to start from the back, as is our rule in this league, to allow rookie drivers to prove that they have what it takes. JR coming across the line, start his timed lap. Oh, invalidates off the rip. Tough break for JR. Looks like next car out on track is actually going to be the Ferrari. Not sure which one it will be. Maybe. Nope. First one out is going to be Hayden. Let's see. Actually, let's head down. We'll go with Hayden first. Typically, Hayden goes out on intermediates. He usually goes out first on intermediates just to get a taste of the track and then attacks it. But it looks like he's going right off the rip. Hayden starting his speeding lap on the softs. Hayden flying down the track. Cross the line heading sets us a 128.558 DRL 128.380. Bipsum looks like some good salt's gonna be coming across soon. Purple middle sector. Across the line, some good salt with 128.243. All right, next up is going to be, it's like Boogie. Yep, Boogie 128.523. JR looks like he's going for another lap. Across the line. JR, 5th place. All right. A little bit of an issue there, but now we can go check out some timed laps. Let's see your Pug. He invalidated his lap. He's the next one that was setting a fast lap, but he invalidated. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he's invalidated on this lap. So, oh, and he spins around there. Just off camera shot. Looks like Apex Twin, his teammate, on a flying lap. Zaluxy doing a purple first sector. Yellow flag coming up. Apex Twin. Personal best on his time. See, JR gets out of his way in time. Heavy braking through. Doesn't look like it slowed him down much. Coming around the final corner. Let's see where this moves Apex to. Get a taste for his own. 127.828 puts him at the top, but we got Deluxy right now absolutely flying. Purple, the two middle sectors around the final corner. Stamp of authority, 126.215 for Deluxy. Next up, we got Vanilla. Across the line, P2 with a 127.230. Looks like the next car that is setting a time is going to be Pug Life. Head down. Pug Life, cross line, 127.8. Dynamic, invalidated on this lap. Let's see how he's doing. Let's check his. Let's watch his telemetry as he comes across the line, start his flying lap. Invalidated the last one. He's going to be trying his best to set a time here. Very interesting set of throttle inputs there as it's jumping all around. Not sure if that is just a telemetry glitch over the interwebs or if that's an actual input error for Dynamic on his system. I'm thinking we're going to just chuck it up to a little bit of interwebs being very out of sorts there, coming through the bridge all over the throttle, trying to get through there cleanly. As he's coming into now the third sector, let's take a look at what his time is. Where is he sitting? Personal best. That's only because he hasn't set a lap so far. Around the final corners, Dynamic is going to move himself up. P11 with a 129.235. A little bit of an issue going across the bridge is probably what cost him his time. So let's check out, see who is coming across the line next. Looks like Draco also retired. Not sure what that happened there. So let's head to Dragonflies. Dick Flies. We gotta update that because in the system we still have them as Dragonflies. Looks like he actually might not be on a flying lap right now, but I do see that Hayden is on a flying lap. Personal best, first sector. Around the final corner. Cross line, Hayden up to P7, 127.927. So far, it's like Oscar's on a lap, but he invalidated. Then we got Corey, might be P3 right now, out on the track. Really down a little bit, so I'm not sure if he's on a push lap Alpine's possibly working together to get themselves set up. Yeah, Corey getting his tires warmed up. Real quick, let's just check the weather. Light clouds. So we're good there. Oh, Corey into the pits. So, next up is Hayden's on a cooldown. Let's go check out Oscar. He invalidated the last one, but the lap he's on right now does look like it will be a timed lap. Oh, invalidated. Oscar still is yet to set a time. So now he's going to work on recharging that battery, come back around and try to set a lap. So far, looks like Dynamic is on an out lap, and so is Apex Twin. So we'll stay here with Oscar. We'll check out his telemetry on his lap. Watch how he attacks Singapore. Move himself up in the standings. Oscar scoring the majority of the points for Alpine, moving them up in the standings over the season. Oh, into the pits he went. We got 4 minutes left. Oscar still has yet to set a lap. So let's go check out. The next one's going to be Apex. We'll go with him. Just coming around the final corner. Oh. That was a timed lap. I thought that was not a lap. I apologize. So, let's see who's next. It's like Pug. Pug Life going through the bridge section into the DRS zone. He's got JR right behind him. Don't know if JR is... Looks like he might be on an out lap right now. Not getting... Not sure if Pug is going to let him by. And the problem is if Pug is faster, he's going to be held up later on. So let's see. See what happens here if JR backs off or just hammers home. They're hammering home. They're going after it. Let's watch the telemetry here of Pug Life. JR getting squirrely in the background. So, Pug Life feathering the brakes down. Coming through turn 7. Solid off the accelerator onto the brakes. On turn 9. Coming up to the bridge section, it's a little bit twisty, tricky. 2 minutes to go. Zaluxy sets our pole time. She's also out. Not sure what happened there. DRS wide open for Pug. Early in sector 3. Take a look at the time. It's coming down to the modified section here. Under the freeway. Around the corner of 18. And 19 across the line. Bug 127.898. So we got Boogie improving. Personal best first and second sector. Almost sets a fastest second sector. Across the line, Boogie 128.309. Dynamic personal best through first sector. Ooh, gets very squirrely lost a whole lot of momentum. "40 seconds left in the session. Dynamic still personal best through the middle sector. Even with that little bobble there, still absolutely flying. He's going to be the first one across the line here at the end of our session. Dynamic up to 8th with a 128.138. Got Zaluxy out in front by over a second. But Vanilla absolutely flying. Sets a purple first sector. We'll keep an eye on the times of everybody else as they come across, but right now, our biggest mover, Some Good Salt, is improving. Personal best on the first and second sector. But let's see what he can do as he comes across the line, but we're going to stick here with Vanilla. Only personal best in the middle sector, down on Zaluxy's time. This will still be a massive improvement, but I believe Zaluxy's time will stand. Unless Vanilla can make up that little bit of loss. Cross the line. No, Vanilla can't do it. 126.441. Only off by about 0.2 to Zaluxy's time. And that is everyone across the line. Your pole position brought to you by Zaluxy. Followed closely behind by Vanilla Spilla, Corey, Apex, Dragonfly, Some Good Salt, Pug Life, Hayden, Dynamic, Boogie, Dero Racer X, JR, 2005. Now, as we sit here, we get over into our system here. I'll get you a graphic of qualifying. So now we let everyone set their strategies. Slight bit of an issue there. Don't know why the software's acting up. All right. So much going on. So many changes got to go through. Find the folders. add the graphics, and then open. And if I do this button. Doesn't want to do it. Of course. All right. Well, technical difficulty on that one. Oh, there it is. There it goes. So, like we said, Zaluxy out in front, followed by Vanilla Spilla, Corey, Apex Twin, Nick Flies, Some Good Salt, Pug Life, Hayden, Dynamic, Boogie, Dero Racer X, JR. Pixelin, who's not actually here, so I'll have to change that. That's going to be actually one of our... That's AO, so I'll have to fix that. Then we got Oscar, Truth, and Draco bringing out the rear. Oh. Looks like TJ is getting everybody ready to go. Now we just need to one of our guys. Our Truth is walking his goldfish. Pug Life needs to go walk his pet slug. They're not ready yet. All right. Everybody's on the track. Lights are lit. Lights are out, and away we go. Zaluxy taking the lead. Followed closely by Vanilla. Everybody keeping it clean so far. Majority of the strategy so far is the soft. Mind you, we do have to have 2 pit stops under dry conditions. Speaking of dry conditions, let's take a look at what the weather is for the race tonight. It is light clouds, which means it will be a dry race, all race. So far, everyone keeping it pretty clean. Hayden, unfortunately, all the way in the back, must have had an issue. He has full front wing damage, 13 and 28. With Draco having front wing damage as well, so not sure what happened there, but Hayden in the back, more than likely going to be pitting soon. If we take a look at what the tire life is looking like, if he were to switch to hards, he's only going to get about 20 laps out of this 31 lap race, so he will have to do one more pit stop. So he may go hard for the majority of this race and switch back to a softer compound. But right now, Zaluxy out in front, less than half a second to Vanilla Spilla in P2, followed closely by Corey. We got Dragonflies, Apex Swing, Some Good Salt, Pug Life, Oscar, Dynamic, DRL, Truth, Draco, AO, Boogie. AO and Boogie are battling it out in the back there. Draco getting full wing damage. More than likely his end plate is gone. Let's go down the list, see how things are going further back. Like we said earlier, Boogie and Truth. Truth on the mediums to Boogie. Boogie's out there hunting down JR right now, but then we got Truth followed by AO and Draco. Draco with that wing damage. Let's actually go check that out real quick. As we look at him, he should have an end plate gone. He does. The driver's side or left hand end plate is gone. Hayden currently in the pits, switching over to the hards as we predicted. Heavy braking for the Williams. Following this group very closely, whereas out in front, they are spreading out pretty decently. Zaluxy almost over a second ahead of Vanilla Spilla. Go up a little bit higher in the standing. We got DRL Racer X right on the back of Dynamic. DRL does have the advantage with being on the soft tires compared to Dynamic being on the mediums. Now it should be interesting to see. Mercedes took advantage of the rules for this dry tire and pit stop requirement. If we do get a safety car, which is likely here at Singapore, they'll be more than likely doing the intermediate pit strategy, where under safety car they will pit, put on the intermediates, do a lap, come back in, under safety car, pit for their next tires, and be good for the rest of the race. But like we said, those hards are only going last for 20 laps. Draco getting a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That front wing being gone, definitely affecting his ability to slow down in time. You've got the Haas of Apex battling Oscar up ahead. DRL gets past Dynamic. Those softs being taken advantage of by DRL. Going to pull a slight bit of a gap there on Dynamic. Looking up ahead, we got the two Haas's driving together. Apex hunting down Oscar while Pug right behind. Let's see if these guys can work together as a team. Oscar currently with 2 warnings. So if Apex can harass Oscar coming up, may cause Oscar to make a mistake and get a penalty. You don't want to bank on that. You want to try to do your best to get past them. DRL with a warning for corner cut. He's up to 2. You would think with a street circuit, you wouldn't have... Oh, Apex getting a warning there. Cutting the corner. Saw him jumping up over the curb. You would think at a track like this with all the walls that nobody would go over track limits, but you can see there in certain corners, there is a bit of a runoff, so drivers taking a little bit more than they should. Pug Life getting right up on his teammate's backside. Let's see if Pug actually goes for a move on his teammate. Doubt that it'll happen, but you never know. Oscar closing in on some good salt ahead. Right now, we got DRL hunting down the 2 Haas's. A little bit of tire smoke there, but they are cruising. Let's take a look at their live speeds to give you an indication of how fast they are on this street circuit. Mind you, right now, they're going twice than the freeway speed here in the States. Oscar with a 3-second penalty. We unfortunately saw that coming. Oh! The Ferrari of DRL goes around. Looks like he got it going again. He did, but that front wing is damaged. 66% on the right front. You can see the right front end plate is gone. Luckily, the pits are coming up pretty shortly. He will be more than likely switching to the hard compound like his teammate Hayden did early in the race. Here he comes into the pits. Typically speaking, when a pit stop happens with a front wing change, you are looking at roughly about a 7-second stop. And he comes, mechanics swapping out those tires. The front wing did get changed. Oh, tough break for DRL. They changed out the tires, but the wing didn't. He's going to be suffering for downforce going back out into the track. Sizable gap back to his teammate, but tough break for DRL Racer X. He is going to have to be going the rest of this stint with a broken wing unless he comes in, gets it changed out, and switches to another tire. But that is a tough break. We got yellow flag. Looks like that might have been for JR directly ahead of DRL. AO closing in on Truth. Whereas we actually got a closer battle up front, up to P4. Close battle here. Corey getting absolutely swamped by the Red Bull and Alpine of Oscar. And the V-carb of Dragonflies. Dragonflies getting past. Some good salt. Corey getting super sideways there through turn 1. Looks like Zaluxi's down in the pits right now. No wing damage. This might be her strategy pit stop. Seeing as I think the softs were only expected to go 12. Softs were expected 12 to 14 laps, so that's a surprise that Zaluxi was pitting when she did. Not sure if something happened. We'll have to keep an eye on the Discord to see if anybody says anything. But right now, Zaluxi down in 10th, which is bad news for Aston Martin, as you have Dynamic and Vanilla in the top 10, scoring points for their team. Zalexi, the only point scorer for the team currently with 1 point in 10th place. So as it stands, we got Corey dropped all the way back down to 5th now. That Dragonfly is out in front. Yellow flag. 3rd sector. I think that was just everybody slowing down. Oh no, that's a Haas. We got a Haas around. Everybody doing early pit stops. We're only on lap 7. A lot of drivers switching from the softs to the mediums. Like we said, the softs were predicted to go at least 12 laps, so it looks like everybody's coming in early so they don't go through that graining phase as they come out into the track. This is a big shuffle of our running order right now. So far, so good with no safety car. Yellow flag through the first sector. I think that's just a... That's happened twice now. I think it's just a slow exit out of turn 5. It's causing a yellow flag to prematurely get put up onto the screen. So, as majority of everyone has done their pit stops, let's take a look at total pit stops, because remind you, there's a requirement of 2 pit stops for tonight. Your top 4, Dragonflies, Oscar, Dynamic, Boogie, have not pitted yet. But Zalexi, Vanilla, Some Good Salt, and Corey. So our original front runners have already done their first pit stop. We'll see if Dynamic, if he comes in, he started on the medium, so his wear is actually probably not that bad. Let's see what his tire wear is. Oh yeah, he's only at 16%. He's probably going to go for another lap, and he does so. Cars in front of him coming to the pits. They were very worn. You can see 40% in the rear for Dragonflies, 41 for Oscar. So Dynamic's probably going to go for a couple more laps, but this brings Zalexi right up behind Boogie. P3 is 28%, and he is currently on the soft, so he's probably going to be pitting on the next lap or so. Our only other soft tired driver out there is Apex. Corey with 3-second penalty. Pug Life with a 3-second penalty. Those all hopped real fast. That must have been through that first 1-2 complex. Let's head back to those guys. Those guys are all racing quite closely together. Apex dropping all the way to the back with that front wing damage. He's in the pits right now. JR with a warning. So it looks like Boogie's probably going to be pitting soon because he's on the softs. But everybody else, we'll see if Dynamic goes long. This is where we're at right now. As we can see, our big mover right now is actually Truth on the mediums all the way up to P5. So Boogie actually on the soft. Half a second back from Vanilla. Doubt he's going to go for a move anytime soon. He's more than likely going to be heading into the pits. And here he comes into the pits. Zalexi setting fastest lap on the medium. 129.656. Boogie doesn't have any wing damage, so this is just going to be a quick swapping tires out. Looks like he's going to the mediums for his second go around. So let's double check real quick. Total pit stops. Everyone except for Dynamic. Dynamic, Truth, and JR are the only ones who have not pitted yet. Let's go check out Truth defending against Some Good Salt. Doing quite well. We are having a big... We're having telemetry issues. You can see everything's kind of just hopping around real quick. I don't think Zalexi and Dynamic are... Well, I guess they were. So Zalexi's out in front now. Apologize, we missed that. Some good salt getting around Truth there. Truth not defending against that DRS being wide open. Mind you, Truth has not done a pit stop yet. Everyone has done their one, except for Dynamic out in front, who's battling Zluxy. Zluxy and Dynamic going back and forth. Don't know if that actually might be a netcoding issue. Dynamic jumping all over the place here on screen. We got JR in the mix of it. Getting the blue flag, getting out of the way. Dynamic through the fast sixth. Dynamic going wide there. Might be due to tires. But now he's got his teammate behind him. He moves over, lets his teammate through. That is a smart strategy move for the Mercedes. As you can tell, as we pull up tire wear here, Dynamic on very worn set of mediums. More than likely will be pitting soon, but he did not want to hold up his teammate of Vanilla, who is hunting down Zluxy in both Drivers' Championship, Constructors' Championship, and now this race. Zluxy with a 2.5 second lead. Right now, Dynamic fighting off the back marker of JR. Let's go take a look for another close battle. Oscar and Corey, teammates. Corey was the good strategy move here would be the same thing that the Mercedes did. Corey should let Oscar pass, as Oscar is the majority points leader for the team. And Corey actually just transferred to the Alpine team. So either he's going to be following Oscar with, there he goes, he moves to the inside, lets Oscar pass, tucks him right behind. That is a great strategy move there. It's also smart to let that happen on the straightaway. Now we've got Pug Life on the tail of Truth. Truth defending as best as he can. Mind you, Truth, his mediums are 10 laps old, whereas Pug, his tires are only 4 laps old. Mind you, Pug does have a 3-second penalty, but that won't come into play until at the end of this race. But Pug not letting Truth get away. Truth putting the elbows out. Pug going onto the inside. Looked like he tried to make a move. Now he's going to tuck back in. DRS is going to be open soon as they come down to the bridge section. Very twisty, windy part here. Then they go over the bridge down to the very tight hairpin. Pug almost rear-ending there into Truth. DRS wide open. JR 3-second penalty. Pug heavy on the brakes, getting right on that gearbox of Truth. And Truth coming in for his first pit stop. And Oscar ahead as well, pitting. Oscar only had 3-lap old ball, but he does have wing damage. Oscar has a end plate that is completely gone. So Oscar's going to be pitting for a wing and tires. Truth just coming in 4 tires. Bold move, Cotton. Goes from the mediums to the softs. So he's going to do a middle stint on the softs. Try to make up as many positions as possible before he heads back and has to pit again. So now everyone has pitted. Oscar has done his obligatory 2. So Oscar planning on going the rest of the race on the set of hards he just put on. So now we're all racing head to head. Our nearest gap. Let's go check this out. Looks like it's gonna be, let's go Dragonflies on some good salt. Less than half a second. Some good salt does have some front wing damage, a little bit on the front left. But hopefully that won't hold him back too much. Dragonfly is sticking right there with some good salt. These are two reserve drivers, but they are going to score some significant points for their teams, where they're currently sitting in third and fourth. We're currently seeing a battle for third. Yellow flag safety car is deployed. That was a quick safety car. Draco being out. Don't see him moving, or his dot not moving, I should say, on the track. But we have our first retirement of the session is Draco. So now, mostly everybody has done their first pit stop. So the strategy of pitting for intermediates during the safety car and then pitting again is more or less out the window for anyone that was thinking about trying to do that. So now the question is, do you pit and go long? We shall see. So JR still is yet to pass the spot where Draco went out. But we now have the opportunity. Zaluxy into the pits. Vanilla into the pits. This looks like it's going to be everyone. Zaluxy going from hard to hard. Salt, 10 seconds speeding the pit lane. This is a tricky pit entrance to do. You can see almost everyone is dropping into the pits. JR flying by. He's going to try to get his lap back. Oh, couldn't make it. Stuck behind Zaluxy. So let's take, while everyone is doing these pit stops, the field's going to get bunched up. Let's take a look at what the race story is for our drivers. We've got Zaluxy, our pole setter, our championship leader, who is absolutely dominating right now out in front. P1. Next up, Vanilla Spilla hunting down Zaluxy, doing everything he can to get his team and himself as close as possible to Zaluxy. Started second, currently second. Next up, we got Corey. Started third, currently third. This is actually turning out pretty impressive that our top three, right where they're at after 14 laps of uninterrupted racing until now under safety car. We're going to get everyone bunched back up together. Next up, Some Good Salt started back in sixth, up to fourth right now. He did pit for the Hards. Next up, Nick Flies, or Dragonflies, as we all know him. Started fifth in fifth, keeping that position real. Then we got Dynamic, started ninth all the way up to sixth. Big moves there for him. Currently on a set of mediums that are 2 laps old. Then we got Pug Life breaking even, starting 7th, now 7th. Followed up by Oscar. Big moves, up 6 positions, started 14th, now in 8th, but does have a 3-second penalty that he's going to have to deal with at the end of this race. Boogie, up 1 position, started in 10th, now up to 9th. Final points position currently is DRL Racer X, started 11th, now up to 10th. Currently on the mediums. Then we got AO, our reservist, started 13th, up to 11th. Currently on the hards. Then we got our newest member to the league, Truth. Up 3 positions, started 15th, now up to 11th. Oh, looks like somebody pitted. Who was that? Salt. Salt in the pits. That drops Salt down. So now we got Hayden P12 started 8th. Tough break at the start of the race, broken wing. And he's been fighting that ever since. Then we got Salt coming out of the pits. Started 6th, now down 13th. This changes a little bit. Then we got Apex Twin, started 4th, down to 14th. Had a couple of issues. He's now on his 3rd set of tires. Then we got JR stuck in the front. Couldn't make it out ahead of Zaluxi before she came out of the pits for the safety car. So he is going to be starting up in front, getting a blue flag as soon as we go back to racing. And then we got Draco who's out. So taking a look at pit stops real quick. The only drivers to not do their 2 stops is Dynamic and JR. So ideally JR would do a pit stop now, have himself head to the back, and not have to worry about it. But the big problem for Dynamic, currently sitting in 5th, only 1 stop, needs to do another one. While we're sitting here on the safety car, which may or may not come in this lap. I don't believe it will be. I think we're probably going to do 1 more lap. But here we are sitting with our penalties. You've got Corey, 3 seconds. Oscar with 3 seconds. Puglight for 3 seconds. And JR with 3 seconds. I do believe there were some 10 seconds in there. Let's pull up the actual in-game leaderboard real quick. And take a look at that. Details. No? Okay, everybody served their 10 seconds. So we are down to just the 3 seconds. So what we have for 3 seconds is what we have. Corey, Oscar, Pug, and JR. Again, Dynamic, the only driver that still, well, JR and Dynamic still have to pit to get that second pit stop in. I see Zaluxi in the Discord wants to let JR pass. The only way that would possibly work is if she slowed down, but then everyone behind would also have to realize they need to slow down. Because if they slow down enough, the game would let JR overtake her. Safety cars in this lap. All right, so we're going to go, our camera's going to focus on Vanilla as we restart. Unfortunately, JR doing the smart thing, kind of getting out of the way as best he can. And we are back under racing. JR gets out of the way of the field. Smart move on him. But that gap, whoa, big move there from Corey. Vanilla having to take avoiding action, dropping all the way back to P9. TRL gave a 3-second penalty for cutting the corner. That was a chaotic restart. JR desperately trying to stay out of the way. Chaos happening in the back. End plates going flying everywhere. Oh, big accident there in the back with the Haas of Apex Twin. Truth losing out his front wing. Lots of carnage there at the back. Virtual safety cars going to neutralize the field, but unfortunately, We wish we could show you the graphic for the damage. But the field, basically from 7th position back, everyone has front wing damage. Virtual safety car is ending. Not sure what happened on the restart of that race. I think it was just chaos because everyone was trying to avoid the lapped car. Right now you've got Dragonflies and Oscar battling out with Corey right behind. Dynamic right behind, I should say. Dragonflies out in front. Dynamic. A little bit of front wing damage, not a whole lot, but mind you, he still has to pit for a second pit stop. Heavy braking, tire smoke going all up in the air. Corey and Oscar, teammates working together. Corey doing his damnedest to hold up Dynamic as Oscar goes. But the unfortunate thing is Oscar and Corey have 3-second penalties each. We got a couple guys in the back doing their pit stops, get those new wings on. Unfortunately, a lot of those guys are going to be serving their 10-second penalties, so they're not going to be reviewable at the end of the race if they want to try to get them removed. It is a tough break because most of those guys had already done their 2 pit stops requirements. I think some are up to 3 now. Yep. So while some drivers have done 3 pit stops, Dynamic still has only done 1. Let's go check out AO on Pug Life. AO looks to the inside, thinks better of it, tucks him behind through turn 1 and 2. And around 3. Down to hard braking of 5. Pug Life missing front of his wing, a lot of his front of the wing. End plates on both sides gone. So it's AO, take advantage, he does. He goes on the inside. AO up to P9. Pug Life not letting him have it. Heavy braking. Looks like they had contact there. Looks like AO possibly got some more wing damage from that contact. Let's go with AO here. As he's the attacking car, it might be easier to see what's going on. Pug Life not letting him go through. Putting those elbows out. Ooh. Heavy braking there to avoiding action, and Pug Life into the pits. All right, our next closest battle is Dynamic. Still hunting down the guys up front. Dynamic on the mediums. Vanilla 3-second penalty. All the way down to 12th. Not recovering as well as he had hoped after that turn 1 kerfuffle. Oh, we got, looks like Corey is rubber banding, or that might be Dynamic, not sure which. Corey and Oscar doing their best to work together still. Hunting down Dragonflies. Dragonflies and Oscar going side by side. Oscar, P2. Dynamic falling back a little bit there. We're on lap 21 of 31. Oh, big contact there. Looked like Corey punted. Now it's front wing damage. All the while, Dynamic just sticking with them. So far, it looks like going down the list, DRL Racer X, rear wing damage. Salts with massive front, AO with front. Dragonflies is absolutely trying to pull away from Corey here. Hopefully Corey and Oscar don't battle it out too much. Oscar is ahead. 20% damage on his front wing, whereas Corey has 53. And then you got Dynamic on the mediums. They're behind 10 laps left to go. Oscar, another 3 seconds. He's up to 6 seconds now of penalties. So as it stands, your current third place has 6 seconds. Fourth has 3. 6 has 3, 11-3, 12-3, and 15-3. Oh, big contact there between Dragonflies and Oscar. Oscar now ahead. They're battling very hard. Side by side through there. Very tricky section to go side by side. All while Corey trying to take advantage of this. Oscar the big loss on that one. Oscar dropping back down the 5th. Dynamic with a heavy brake to avoid Corey. All while both of the Ferraris working very closely together, trying to catch this pack. Some good salt right behind. Lap 23 of 31. JR and Dynamic still have to do one more pit stop. Zaluxy absolutely dominating with 14 seconds to second place Dragonflies. Dragonflies with 3 seconds. Second place, 3-second penalty. Third place, 3-second penalty. Fifth place, 6 seconds. Dynamic, if he had already pitted, would be taking massive advantage of the situation, but he's going to fall back when he does his second pit stop. Everyone's DRS is wide open as we're going through. Let's take a look at the tire wear. Dynamic at 19%. Everyone else sitting right about 12 to 15. Dynamic closing in right on Corey there. Dynamic looking for the move on the inside. Makes it past Corey. Now Corey's got to be careful not to hold up his teammate. And we're heading down to the high-speed turn 6. I think at this point, Dynamic is just trying to avoid as much loss as possible, as he will have to pit soon, and he'll be dropping down the order as it stands. Actually, oh, at this point, according to the system, if he pits now, Dynamic will be rejoining P11, so he's going to be out of the points, but it will promote his teammate into the points. Currently, Vanilla sitting in 11th. JR with another 3-second penalty. Dynamic, the only car left that has to do his second pit stop. Through turn 19. Dragonfly is absolutely skittish coming out of that corner. Dynamic thinking about going for the move there. Doesn't. Stays tucked in behind. Apex Twin with a 3-second penalty. Big wing damage. Dynamic. End plate is gone. That's going to cost him in the pit stop as well. That's going to be a 7-second pit stop, which is going to make that delta even longer. He's going to drop down the order when he does. We'll see what happens there. But right now, your leader 20 seconds out in front. Zaluxy way out there. Then we got the heads up battle between Corey and Dragonflies, because they both have 3 seconds each, but it cancels each other out. Then you got Oscar, who's going to finish at least 3 seconds behind them because he has 6 total seconds of penalties that he has to serve after he crosses the checker flag. Pug Life. Oh, JR into the barrier there. His wing is completely gone. Thankfully, he's out of the way of everyone as we come flying through that 90-degree corner. Corey doing all he can to defend against Dragonflies now as he's in P2. Across the line, we're on to lap 26 of 31. Dynamic into the pits. Change out the wing. He's put on the softs. Let's see if he can get out there as we're watching the track map. He will be. Oh, we got a stationary Red Bull. Slowly moving again. That might be. Is that Dragonflies? Dynamic drops down to P12. That stationary car was Dragonfly. He has his front wing is gone. Very disappointing. DRL is going to get right past him. He's got to be very careful because there he goes, right past. Tough break for Dragonflies. He's going to have to replace that front wing. 5 laps to go. That means the Luxie has crossed the start-finish line. Your P2 is 22 seconds behind. Tough break. Hayden, P4 currently. This has been a great recovery drive so far for Hayden. He had that first lap issue early on. Been fighting to get back to the front ever since. Kept his nose clean. He has no penalties. Oscar ahead of him has 6 seconds. Salt directly behind doesn't have any as either. So him and Hayden and Salt are going to be racing straight up. Salt is on younger tires by only 1 lap. Hayden using all of his ERS. That battery's gone. Some Good Salt currently sitting at 40% battery. Dynamic 3-second penalty. Hayden getting a little bit out of sorts there as he comes around that corner. Doing his best to defend against Some Good Salt, but also trying to overtake Oscar. He will overtake on penalties, but knowing Hayden, he wants to do it on the track. We're on lap 27 of 31. Your leader, Zaluxy, 23, almost 24 seconds out in front. Salt getting past Hayden. Down to turn 14. Salt on the move. Going after Oscar. Has the inside. They make contact. Hayden getting into the backside of Oscar. Couldn't really avoid him. As that's a high-speed corner. Oscar looked like he backed out of a little bit, so he didn't make contact with Salt, but Hayden collected him. Got yellow flag. Safety cars deployed. Oh! That is Dragonflies out. Into the wall. Dragonflies. He had that front wing damage. Pitted, came back out on mediums and smoked that front wing. Don't know if it was an issue with JR. You can see JR still spinning about, trying to get himself situated. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, he has 100% rear wing damage. JR's car is toast. So we're under safety car lap 28 of 31. Real quick, we're going to go through. What is JR doing? Hitting the wall there? I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way of Zaluxy. Zaluxy coming to the pits. She has 28 seconds, so that's a bold move. Don't know if she's coming in to get the softs. She's trying to. She might be coming into this go softs and pip Vanilla for the extra point. Just absolutely just putting her stamp of authority on the league. Yeah, there she goes. 2.3 seconds. That's a fast pit stop. She will rejoin back out in front. Looks like JR finally retired it. Probably smoked it into the wall. Hopefully he didn't retire on purpose. All right, so we're under safety car. We only got about 2 laps left, so this safety car is going to be a quick one. But looking at the race story, let's take a look here. All right, so Zaluxy started first, in first. So we got Some Good Salt on the mediums, 6th to 2nd. Hayden, big recovery, 8th to 3rd. Zero Racer X up to 4th with rear wing damage. That's a great drive for having rear wing damage. Then we got AO. There's AO. AO 13th up to 5th. Great moves. Corey started 3rd, down the 6th. Pug Life. Yep, 6 cars back in. So we're going to pick that up later. Let's head back up to the front. Knew this was going to be a short safety car just because it's the end. Zluxi back in the field up. She's on soft. She's going to be trying to pit Vanilla. Safety car is in the pits. It is up to Zluxi to take us away. We're going to stay with Some Good Salt. And we're back to green flag conditions. Zluxi out in front. 2 laps to go. Some Good Salt, 3 seconds for cutting the corner. That is going to cost him the podium. Now, with that 3 seconds, that is unfortunately going to cost Some Good Salt. So, Some Good Salt, 3 seconds. Hayden, with nothing, is going to inherit that if he stays within 3 seconds. And you got Dirrell, who has 3 seconds. He is racing straight up against Corey, but Ao on the very old hard tires, 16 laps on those hards, has no penalties, so he's going to inherit. Ao could actually finish third. If he can stay close enough, he might inherit that. Oh, we got another yellow flag in the back there. Vanilla, no! Vanilla's out of the race. Oscar getting past Ao. Zluxi, fastest lap, 1:29.034. That is what she was trying to go for. She makes it happen. Zluxi's getting that extra point. Unfortunately, Vanilla Spilla, that had the fastest lap, had an accident, now out of the race. Tough break for the Mercedes driver. This is going to cost dearly. Hayden sticking right with Salt. Doesn't need to overtake. He's going to guarantee get that position. But Corey's right there behind him. Going to be harassing. This will be interesting to see how everything plays out. Everybody's DRS is wide open. Corey getting right there on the back end. Thinking about making a move. Real quick while this is going on, let's go back over our leader, Zluxi, across the line. And another fastest lap, 1:27.893. Let's get back to the close battle here. Oh, it spread out. Some Good Salt across the line. Hayden across the line. It's going to inherit P2. Then we got everyone else crossing. That was a quick succession of everybody coming across the line. But due to penalties, it really jumbled everything up. So as it stands right now, Zluxi, your winner. Hayden, Some Good Salt, Corey, Ao, Dirrell Racer X, Oscar, Dynamic, Pug Life, Apex now across the line. Then we got Boogie, P11, and our newest member, Truth, who got in a big tussle late on in the race. Coming through the final sector. Doesn't look like he's going to be fast enough to pull a fastest lap away from Zluxi, as he would hope. Across the line, Truth, P12. So that is your round 11 at Singapore. Driver of the day is actually Oscar. That is Singapore. There is your winner, Zluxi. Again, putting her stamp of authority on this league. Congratulations to Zluxi. That race was very, very busy. So your winner tonight, Zoluxy, followed by Hayden, his best finish of the season. Some Good Salt, Corey, Ao, Duro, Racer X, Oscar, Dynamic, Pug Life, and your final point scorer, Apex Twin. That is it for us here in Singapore. Reminder, next week, we are racing on Saturday night, not Sunday, and that will be our sprint race at Qatar. So, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. We will see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming out. See you on Saturday. Peace.